How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do some changing on the front suspension of the Silverado. We are going to replace the 3-inch drop spring and 1-inch spacer that I have in there, which makes that thing about a 2-inch drop. And we're going to replace this all with a kit from Spindle Source. It's a 4-inch lower control arm and upper control arm combination. I've got a set of factory length coil springs, and I'm also going to be reusing the retainer, or not the retainer, but the 1-inch spacer that came with the previous kit. I'm going to try to get about a 3-inch drop on this. So we're going to try out Spindle Source's kit and see how we like it. So I'm going to take some measurements of the truck, the current height that it sits now versus how it is after we get done with it. So hold on tight, let's get started. So I threw up some measurement here. Driver side, passenger side, 30.25 from the fender to the floor, 30.75 from the fender to the floor on the passenger side, so there's a 1/2 inch difference. But I also went fender to top lip of the wheel. That way that takes care of any skewed numbers from like tire pressure. If one tire is lower than the other one, I didn't actually even check that. So we got 7.5 and 7 3/4 respectively. So anyway, hopefully we'll take that and we'll put it all right there and make it all the same. So let's get started. Well, as you can see, that's how quick things can go sideways. So I'm pretty disappointed that I'm not going to be able to reuse these shocks. This was a Beltec Street drop shock, one of those. It's unfortunate because those shocks are not very old. They don't have very many miles on them, and I am pretty disappointed that I had to pretty much take my cutoff wheel and chop it off just to get it out of there. So unfortunately that puts a snag in our plans, but I'm going to continue on. We're going to get the control arms in and we're going to move forward while I wait on my new shocks to come in. So let's get back to it. Okay, so we've got the spring clearly out of the way, the shock out of the way. We had to cut the end off of it to get it out. So I removed the brake caliper and rotor just to free up some weight on that. Got the rotor, or the caliper, secured over there, and rotors on the ground. But anyway, we are going to try to get this spindle broke loose from this lower control arm. So time to play with the handle. honest, these aren't terribly thick. Close. Okay, now that we have the knuckle out of the way, we've got the upper control arm out and the lower control arm still there, so we're trying to go in with the new upper. Talk about the alignment eccentrics that come with it. This is a factory one. The bolt is squared off and it makes a positive locking engagement into that, where the new ones they send with this lowering kit don't have that. It's just bolts, but they have holes that are indexed for, you know, whatever you want it. However, I did happen to see these from Zona Motorsports. So I like those. They have a lot more adjustability. It looks like it's going to be a lot tighter in there. So I ended up picking up a set of these along with their bolts. What I like about these versus the ones that come with the kit, you have way more adjustability and fine tuning, so we're going to go with that. However, the kit only came with 4 of these, so like basically 1 for each bolt on each side, where this comes with a set of 8, so you have positive engagement all the way around. So we're going to get these put in and go from there. pretty much how this thing's gonna go. So we will probably call it quits right there, because I'm probably gonna end up pulling this back off because I got some work to do on the engine, and it'd be nice to just have this out of the way and I can work a lot easier. So anyway, there you go. The only downside that I have found with this kit so far is here and here on the factory control arm, there's provisions for your ABS wire that goes right here, and for your brake line mount, which is that right there. But I'll probably end up just welding a little tab here and a little tab there, so that'll make that work. But anyway, there's pretty much the finished product. So there will probably be a second series to this when I get the rest of my parts in for it. So anyway, we'll stop right there. So before we run off, I wanted to do a comparison video on the weight between the factory control arms versus the aftermarket Spindle Source control arms. So here we go. Factory lower control arm, I would say is approximately 21 pounds. The Spindle Source lower is about 19 pounds, so there's about a 2 pound difference. The upper weighs approximately 6 pounds. The new upper right at about 8 pounds. So there's a little bit more mass to the uppers than the factory, but all in all, you know, it's kind of a wash on weight. So anyway, don't know if that's going to accomplish what anybody wants to see, but there you go. So appreciate y'all stopping by the channel. Thanks for clicking. We'll catch y'all later.